Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. Systemera hosted a live stream recently to talk about updates coming to Astroneer in 2023. While there was not a lot in the way of specifics, what was discussed opens up a ton of opportunities, so let's dive in. First up, we should see a hotfix update coming rather soon that will resolve several bugs in Astroneer. Trade platforms should resume auto-loading trade resources, issues with the sunroom and dedicated servers should be resolved, research chambers pulling research items properly, and more. At one point, Joe said this update's coming next week, but he later walked that back, but they are working on bringing it to us soon. Joe also announced that he has taken on additional responsibilities and is helping guide the updates that we'll see this year. The great part about all this is that he will continue to host the streams and do all his communication stuff, but we will be talking directly with someone who helps make decisions that impact the future of the game. And as he stated, he will be able to speak more frankly about future content updates. And that is exactly what he then proceeded to do by showing off a very early build of a major update coming later this year. And this one is a pretty big deal. Essentially, custom game modes are coming to Astroneer. Players have been asking for something like this for quite some time. And while none of the specifics were really shared, it looks like this update will bring some really exciting features to allow us to change the Astroneer experience in several ways. In the early build that Joe demoed, you could see that they're thinking about the ability to add planets or remove biomes, disable specific items, and more. Some scenarios he mentioned were essentially creating a hard mode, or completely removing tethers, and even altering the balance of biomes. Of course, on the flip side, a parent could create an easier mode so their younger kids could join in without frustration and still be able to unlock achievements. And even more exciting, they hope to enable sharing functionality. So you could create a custom game and have a quick, easy code or link to share it with your friends. For me as a content creator, this is exciting. I can see myself setting up a challenge in a custom game, playing through it in a video, and then sharing that custom game for you to try out as well. And you would be playing the exact same save I had been, so you could all dunk on me in the comments when you do better in my own challenge. Continuing on my perspective as a content creator, I can even see having you all in the community introducing various challenges for me to complete, and potentially even having direct control over the game during live streams. There is, of course, still a lot of decisions to be made before we ever see this update live in our games. But the really cool thing about this update is that Joe and the team are actively looking for our suggestions, feedback, and discussion. In fact, you can head to the Astroneer Discord server and hit up the custom game mode suggestions channel. There's already a lot of discussion happening there, and if this is something you are excited to see coming to Astroneer, then jump into that channel and make your suggestions heard. As to future updates, Joe mentioned that right now the plan for this year is to have two major updates. One will be the update that brings custom game modes and should release around summertime. Then there will be a second large update later in the year. Joe mentioned that they're going with two large updates this year instead of a bunch of smaller updates. And to be honest, I prefer this. It can be difficult to realize how all of the smaller updates add up to some big changes. So I'm completely fine with less frequent updates if that means the updates we do receive are more substantial. So what do you think about all this? Are you excited for the custom game modes? What type of things would you like to be able to take control of in custom games? And how do you feel about the shift to less frequent but more substantial updates? Head down to the comments and tell me all your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button. The likes and comments really do help my video reach more people. And you can even subscribe if you want. That way you don't miss any of my Astroneer content. Not only do I upload recaps of dev streams, but I also create comprehensive recaps and reviews of every update Astroneer receives. And of course, Astroneer Academy is rebooting entirely in just a few weeks. If you haven't seen the original Astroneer Academy, it is a series of videos that covers every single aspect of Astroneer, from the first few hours of the game, all the way through the end credits, and more. And with that, until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.
Moist, ooh, short. Thanks for subbing. Moo is too short. Mo. It also says moist there. Do you not see that that it says moist. Everyone's look at it in chat. It says moist. Moist